Welcome back to another episode of Charlotte Comedians Getting Coffee in Charlotte. Today we are at 7th Street Market and we are at Not Just Coffee, which is a very cute little coffee shop right here in this food hall. And I'm here today with Miss Leah Lynn.
Yes, that is me.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited for you to be here.
Yes.
So we just grabbed some iced cold brews because it's terribly hot outside.
Very hot. Yes.
So what did you get at cold
Vanilla.
brew? Vanilla?
Yeah,
okay,
vanilla.
Got you a vanilla iced cold brew. Amazing. Did you take a sip? Do we like?
I did. It's pretty good.
Okay,
Yeah, it
okay,
is. Yeah, it's
awesome.
not too. The coffee isn't overbearing.
Right.
Because I'm
That's
not a
always
coffee
good.
person. Yeah.
Got you.
I appreciate the turn on. Thank you.
Yes, of course. So, Miss Leah, how long have you been doing stand-up?
Well, I touched the mic for the first time in 2018.
Okay.
But I didn't take it serious. It was just something like a bucket list checkoff.
Sure.
And then in 2019, kinda, not really. In 2020, nobody did anything.
Right.
And then I met this gentleman named Rodney Laney. He actually's been doing comedy for like 20 plus years. And he kind of like took me under his wing. But he's from Jersey. So he was like, if you're going to be serious about this thing, you need to go up top. Because, you know, comedy down here in the South is a little different than up north. So I got a lot of my chops up north with dealing with him, you know.
Got
So
it.
yeah, but 2018 I touched the mic. I got serious about 2021.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first open mic experience?
Oh yeah, it was at the Comedy Zone here.
Okay.
Debbie Millwater was running an open mic at the time, and I remember I was number 13 on the list, right? So I was like, oh, this may or may not go well, you know,
Right.
just because of the. But I say it ended up being such a good time, and I actually got a standing O. My very first open mic, I got a standing O, and I remember that. Yeah, that was impressive, and it was something that I feel like, darn, I'm supposed to be here. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I was supposed to be here, and I've been rocking with it ever since. So yeah, it's been a great experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool. And you are also quite booked and busy, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah.
Yes.
And I gotta say, I'm getting a lot of love. You know what I mean, across the board, like from strangers and friends alike. And I think when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, the universe kind of, you know, now you're gonna hit some bumps, but it's not as bumpy, shall I say? But yeah, it's been an experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of support, and I appreciate everybody who has ever hired me for a show. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Does your family know that you do stand-up?
Yeah, so I produce 2 shows a year myself in April and November. And the April is like my birthday show. And I just turned 50. So I had a big show back in April. And it was like maybe 120 people came out to support. Yeah, so I've been very blessed on those shows. Like my shows usually sell out, which is 100 plus people. So yeah, my mom passed about 3 years ago. And I'm glad she got to see me a couple of times. Yeah, before she left us. But yeah, so my family supports me, my daughter supports me, yeah, so I have a lot of support.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's really, really
it's a good
cool.
thing.
And because I know initially you were a teacher, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
were you ever like doing comedy and teaching at the same time?
No, so I walked to my car in 2016 from teaching. That's a little joke there, but my background is actually formulation chemistry. That's what I actually have my degrees in, chemistry and biology, right? So I did that for years, but right now, you get tired of getting laid off with chemistry because every time a new company come in, they be like, we don't need you, but thank you. So I actually work for the Hilton now, their food and beverage, you know what I mean? Kind of not the same thing, but kind of.
Right.
So no, but right now, Hilton and comedy is what's doing it for me right now. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but the teaching, good luck to anybody who's teaching.
Honestly.
Good luck, yeah.
Honestly, they are heroes. They truly are.
Yes.
But wow, chemical formulation. That is a very, very crazy jump, I would say, mentally,
totally. Yeah,
from
totally.
comedy.
Yeah,
it feels like you get to use your problem-solving brain, creative brain,
right? Yeah,
at the same time.
It's I call this an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
Comedy is an expensive hobby until somebody actually starts paying you and you can actually see the money. You know, it's one of those kind of things. But yeah, but I've always been. I come from a family of I say assholes, so we've always just been funny, or so we thought. You know what I mean? But it wasn't until my brother. He was the one who really was the comedian in the family, you know. So, but he passed in 2016. So it was one of those things where I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep the torch lit because this is what he said he wanted to do, and it just, like I said, fits for me. But yeah, so it is a far jump from chemistry to comedy, but you know, it's all a mindset, right? Yeah, it's all a mindset. Yeah.
What would you say are some of your like comedy influences? Like anyone you watched growing up or shows you watched growing up that really stuck out?
What? We only watched comedies, but I didn't realize it at the time, right? Like my dad used to listen to this gentleman in the car. I can't even remember his name. I'm sure he's long gone. But we've always just had comedy. But right now, my influences are definitely Ali Sadiq because he's an awesome storyteller. I like Michelle Wolf. She's hilarious in her own way. Dry humor, but it's fun.
She's got a weird voice that I love so much.
Absolutely. Yeah, she absolutely does. And of course, Dave Chappelle, you know, the greats like Cat and all of those, like Earthquake and all of those. But as far as like women, because it's not a lot of women, there's a local comedian who I really love. Her name is Pat Brown. She's awesome. You know what I mean? I've only had the opportunity to meet with her a couple times, and she actually did a guest spot on one of my shows, which was a blessing. But you know, anybody that's mainstream, you know, I like what's his name right now? He has a show about the daughters. His name just escaped me, but he's a hilarious guy. And I like clean comedy. You know, I don't mind cursing every now and again, but you get hired quicker when you do clean comedy. You know what I mean? And you can take a cuss word out. You know, it just kind of is what it is. But yeah, so those are any mainstream right now is who I'm looking at. But like locally is Pat, you know, and Kayla Candy, love her as well. So yeah, and Tara Brown. Love Tara, and I can't leave out Don and Travis Lincoln, T-Link. Yeah, so those are my local go-tos. Yeah,
I like it. I like that you have a local top 8, like on MySpace.
Absolutely,
like
yeah. And Jason Allen King.
Yes.
Because he really, he's there for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, he's a really good mentor to a lot of people in the comedy which
great
I love.
guy.
I will say, I really like how many people in the Charlotte comedy community are there for each other.
Yeah.
It seems like we got a lot of really nice connectors around us, which is nice.
Right.
But you did mention you did a little bit of comedy up north.
Yeah.
How long were you out there?
It was back and forth. So, let's see, I actually took a comedy class online. It was American Comedy Institute.
Okay.
And you got to graduate by actually going to New York and performing in one of their clubs.
Nice.
And I did mine at, I think it was called Standup, the comedy club. So that was kind of hot. But let's see, we did mostly personal things because he does more corporate comedy.
Okay.
Rodney does more corporate comedy. So it was more corporate up there, but it was back and forth. So I'm going to say all of 21 and 22.
Okay.
I was up there like maybe every other month.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, it is a lot of back and forth. But it is a lot of really good experience getting those reps in and stuff.
The stage times are crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Because the mics start at like 1 in the evening and they go to like 2 o'clock the next morning. So you can hit 10 mics in one day if you're vigilant. You know, yeah, it is. So, and here it's not, so you know it's not like that here.
Right,
yeah,
right.
they're very strategic here. You know, yeah. But up there you can hit it. I mean, they have mics in the middle of the street. People throw up a tent, have a mic, and you're just out there doing what you do.
Yeah.
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 So.
I would say, like the comedy grind out there is very different than the comedy grind here. But also I think Charlotte, I've noticed, is a bit more of like a sleepy city. You know what I mean? Like
people sleep on us.
Yeah, and we're also like in Uptown right now, right?
Yeah.
And it's busy and it's vibrant. It's during the day.
Yeah.
But we both know by like 7 or 8.
It's gonna taper off.
It's weird.
It's gonna
you know, most city centers.
Yeah, then another set of people come out.
Right.
Like these are the people who, you know, should probably working from home.
Right.
But they're probably about 9 o'clock it switches.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
The younger people come out there. Yeah.
And even still, like the crowds are not super big at night here, I've noticed.
No.
Unless there's like a football game.
I was gonna say something's going on. Yeah. It's the parking.
Yeah. Honestly, I think
it's the parking.
Yeah.
You want me to pay $50 before I get out my car, and I only came down here with $100.
In this economy?
In the first,
are you kidding?
Place. That's what I'm saying. No, they need. And during COVID, actually after COVID is when they started hitting people in the head because it used to be free to park on the weekend. And now they just like nope, $25.
Yeah, I think Charlotte's getting too big for its britches.
Yeah, something like that. Right. And it doesn't have enough mass transportation to accommodate otherwise. Right. So it'd be different if you had subways and, I mean, a little, the metro that they have here. I mean, it doesn't take you far at all.
Yeah, it'd be cool if it went through like the whole city.
The whole city, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like I'm in North Charlotte, so I'm not like within walking distance of here.
Anything,
It's hard.
Right.
But no, I think that like aside from just the pace and the grind and the frequency of mics up north, I think also just culture-wise, it seems like it's a little different there too.
Yes. And then too here, I know this sounds crazy, but to me, you have, my personal opinion, you have the comedians that are actually trying to do something, and you have some comedians who just had nothing to do on a Tuesday, Wednesday, so let me go grab a mic and tell you my problem. And hopefully you might find it funny. I'm not really, you understand? So you had the two sets of people, but up north, it seems like everybody is grind, eat, I'm hungry, you know.
Yes.
So you kind of learn you learn who to navigate with and who just to not take serious down here.
I agree. And I think it's interesting watching some people shift from one to the other sometimes.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, you'll see some people that seem like a casual, like I'm just dicking around kind of comedian who kind of eventually suddenly goes like, oh, I want to get better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's also some that like it seems like they're really grinding for a bit. And maybe they get a little bit burnt out and they're like, I'm going to just kind of take it easy.
Take it easy for a minute, yeah. And I can see that because, like I said, you don't really start making good money yet. Like right now, we're not in it for the money. Right now, it's because this is a passion.
Yeah.
And this is what let me speak for myself. I'm not in it for the money at this point, right? But eventually, you want to become national. You know, you want to become. I say, everything starts at a level, right? So you become city popular, become state popular, then local, then national, then state, then then it blows up. But yeah, you learn to navigate the scene down here.
Yeah. And you got to learn to like kind of take care of yourself when you do get burnt out.
You better.
Because I do think like I've noticed you and I both will go through periods where it feels like we're getting booked a lot.
Yes.
And then sometimes like there'll be a dip, like a break.
It'll taper off, yeah. Like this is my taper off season right now, yeah.
And like I used to kind of freak out about that, and then after a while I was like, no, I'm gonna enjoy those moments where I can like catch my breath, reevaluate some stuff.
Yeah. And write.
And write.
Yeah, and write. How often do you write?
I've been trying to be more like, I'm trying to build like a daily practice.
Okay.
But it's just
it's
tricky.
Hard. Yeah.
Because we're so busy too.
Right.
Like, so a lot of the time my writing has almost also been a little bit of like voice memos. Like I'll be in the car and I'm like, oh, this might be an idea, I don't know.
Yes, right.
Which sounds really weird.
I get it.
Yeah,
That's
like leaving yourself those little notes where you're like, hey, self, Skittles, bye. Like sometimes you don't have like the full thing.
The full thought, right.
Do you ever like listen back to a voice and you're like, what is that?
What was I thinking about?
Yeah, yes, so much. Yeah, I feel like that's been one of my favorite things about doing this series is so many people, everybody has a different writing approach.
Absolutely.
And how frequently they write.
Yeah.
But what about you? How often?
Well, I can't do every day. I can't do nothing every day except sleep. I take a nap every day for the record.
It.
But so what I do is I have a screened-in porch at my house. So I will take 30 minutes. I try not to because I'm self-diagnosed, but I think I have ADHD. So 30 minutes is about all I can really focus on that moment. So I will just walk around and I'll talk like I'm talking to other people, and then ideas will kind of start formulating. Or if it's something maybe from a previous conversation that I had with someone, because I get a lot of good material from conversations I had with people. But I usually actually do a lot of writing on stage. I know
me too.
It's not recommended per se, but sometimes in the moment it just flows and something funny will come out of it. But what I've learned is you can't repeat that. Like, so if you try to go and do that at another show, it doesn't come off the same. Yeah, but as far as writing, I take 30 minutes maybe every other day, and I write ideas down.
Yeah.
Or like I said, something that I'm like you, when I'm talking to somebody and I may say something funny, I'm like, oh, I gotta put that in my notes. And then I'll go back and then I'll be like, that wasn't that funny.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No, I feel you, because I know also like you and I, we record a lot of our sets.
Yes.
Even if it is like a mic.
Yes.
And I think that's where we can kind of get that note of like, oh, I workshopped something on stage, it did well, and then like that way we can play it back, which is helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I hate when I do something on stage but I forgot to record it and it did really well and I'm like, well, crap.
Yeah,
like, I don't
because you're not gonna remember.
Yeah.
You're not gonna remember how it popped off.
It's so hard. So I noticed you also do a lot of work with the Comedy Zone.
Yes, I've been fortunate.
I know that they're a bit selective with like who they get to work with and stuff. But in your what has been your experience with the Comedy Zone? Like, how do you like working with them?
Well, I've been fortunate that the people who ask me to come, they have an end with Comedy Zone. I don't necessarily have one because I don't even know who the booker is for Comedy Zone, because you hear so many different names, this person, that person, this person, but you don't really know how to get at these people, right? So what I'm hoping happens is the next time someone invites me to do a show there, there's actually going to be somebody in the audience that it'll pay off for, right? Because that's kind of what you want, because this is a networking business. It's not a what you know, it's a who you know and who likes you and who don't like you, you know, because you do hear a couple of people be like, well, I fell out with such and such, so I don't get hired anymore. And I think if you fall out with everybody, it's you. Like you might need to go back and regroup, but that's not my case. So back to the Comedy Zone. I have just been fortunate that the people that the Comedy Zone likes me. And, you know, so hopefully that will lead into a segue of hosting, featuring, you know, headlining is probably so far down the road because, you know, they're looking for a certain criteria. And I don't really have a lot of social media followers. Like, I don't post like I should. Do you post? How often do you post?
I try to. I'm trying to now. This series has been a really helpful way to kind of keep me accountable.
Absolutely.
So I've gotten pretty consistent with the long form videos, but the short stuff is where it's at. And
the
shorts, and it's hard for me to like sit down and like make a bunch of like little nuggets out of all of our sets.
Yes.
So I wish I was more frequently. I try to do maybe like once a week.
Yeah.
But I know like Alex King and like all these people that are playing with sketch, very smart as well.
Right.
But yeah, the consistency is the key thing.
Yeah,
and
that's on anything,
hard.
right? It's very hard, especially if you have like. So I have children, but they're older. So right now I'm kind of caretaking for my dad. You know what I mean? So between his 50 doctor's appointments and making sure my kids are good, and I'm helping with my nephew. Like I'm kind of, and then I have to work.
Yeah.
I have to eat.
Yeah.
I like to sleep.
Yeah. You gotta take a nap.
Gotta take my nap.
I get it. I do. Yeah. That's another thing too. I've noticed the work-life balance is a bit tricky. And you know, work in this case meaning the comedy of like. When do we have time to do laundry? Like, when do we have time to meal prep? I'm eating nothing but junk food.
Yeah, that's it.
My ass is massive now. Yeah, like, it's like, honestly, it's crazy.
It's so quick.
Yeah.
It's quick to do it, but when I'm in it, I'm in it.
Yes.
Yeah, like when I lock in.
Yeah.
So I'm like you said, you have to take a day to breathe. So I take a day that I don't care who calls, I'm not being bothered with you. You know, then the other days, like I said, when I lock in. And I've been doing a lot of competitions lately.
Nice.
Yeah, so I just finished the first round of North Carolina Funniest in Raleigh, and I'm on the third round in the Idiot Box.
Wow.
Yeah, that's going to be this Saturday. So,
nice.
You know, and then it gives you an opportunity for other people to see you.
Yes.
You know. So that's,
and those other cities and stuff, they've got like pockets of comedy, and they're producing stuff around us too. So it always feels, definitely. And also, how do you feel about festivals? Do you play around with those at all?
I have done a couple of those. Okay. I did the Raleigh Festival. That was kind of fun. Let me see, what other festivals have I done? I'm going to do an Asheboro Festival in August. Cool. I went down to San Antonio. I did a festival down there. So actually, this is what I do, honestly, Nicole. If it's a city I want to visit, I try to find a festival in the city. Yeah, you know what I mean? So even though I might not be getting paid, because festivals don't pay you per se, but now I'm getting to see the city that I want to see, and I'm doing some comedy and hopefully making some connections along the way. But the festivals aren't always easy to get into, and sometimes some of them not worth it. Like you know, the hype behind it, then you actually get there and it's like, what is going on? You know, so I don't know. I'm not sure how you really break into this thing sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
Because a lot of the time people will say like, well, there might be bookers at festivals, but it does seem like more often than not it's like comedians and their friends.
That's it, and their family, trying to support them. Yeah, you're right about that.
Right, which is great, but yeah, like I agree, like kind of positioning it where it's like, oh no, this is like this is a weekend trip for me.
Yeah, basically, right.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, and then the bookers that are there, because I know at the North Carolina Funniest last year they had some bookers there from like Improv, I think in Philly. They had one from Wilmington, but they want you to come and host. So you want me to drive 5 hours for $10, and again, not above it, but you know, you try to be practical.
Is the juice worth the squeeze?
You're trying. You have to be practical with it. Definitely. You know, and I understand you have to start at the bottom sometimes, but I think there comes a time where, okay, look at my talent. You know what I mean? Like, do you think my talent still says host? Does that make sense what I'm saying? Yeah. Again, if I have to start at the bottom, I don't have a problem doing it, but how long is it going to take me to get to the middle?
Right.
You want me to host for 3 years? I mean, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. So it's just, I just believe when it's your time to shine, the light will hit your ass somehow.
Definitely, yeah. I get in my feelings about it sometimes too, because I also am like, I don't know, I feel like I've been doing this a minute. I feel like I've been doing it frequently for a minute. So
How long have you been doing comedy?
I started doing stand-up in 2023.
Okay.
And I started tracking the shows I would get booked on.
Yeah.
And so each year it's getting like incrementally more, which is nice.
Yeah.
That's been like my weird goal is like, okay, whatever I booked last year, I want to do like 10 more than
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah,
You know, I try to not like make it insane where it's like, we're doubling it.
Yeah.
But, like,
Right. But how do you reach out to the people? Like, do you wait for them to hit you, or do you try to extend olive branches? How do you?
I typically will wait until they ask me, or like if I go to mics, I kind of go with the intention of like hopefully someone's here that's like producing a thing.
Yes.
But I have attempted to reach out to certain places like the Don't Tell crew and like the Next Stop and stuff, and like. But it is hard to break into those because I think you need someone to vouch for you.
Right.
So that's why I wait till someone asks me. But the tricky thing is like I don't know who hates me, so I don't know if they're going to vouch or not.
Right, that part. And with the don't tells, what I have found, like especially the local ones, I know with certain people who host them, you almost got to bug them.
I know.
You know what I mean? Which you don't want to be a bugaboo per se, but at this point in time, it's just like, okay, come on now, you can't keep using the same 6 people all the time, you know what I mean? And I have been fortunate that Don't Tell, I have done a couple of Don't Tell shows, but I have not been able to break into other, cities with the Don't Tell. And there was a gentleman at the North Carolina Festival, he was saying that, it has to make sense to them when they go and look. So like if you're from Charlotte, you don't want to do a next city. Don't put down Las Vegas. You know what I mean? Like that's foolishness.
Right.
But even if you put surrounding cities sometimes, you're like, come on now, I can get to Atlanta from here.
Yeah.
I can get to, but now Atlanta people come up here all the time.
I know.
But unless, again, maybe I just haven't struck the right chord.
I think that the booker for the Charlotte ones is actually based in Atlanta, which is
crazy.
weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I got in with like a couple people that do stuff in South Carolina. So like I get asked to do shit in like Myrtle Beach, and I'm like, all right, but never Charlotte.
Yeah, and the guy who does Myrtle Beach, he'll call me, he'll reach out to me on a Wednesday. Can you come down here Saturday? No, I can't. That's not how my life's set up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, I had somebody drop out. Well,
right.
Or if I can do a Saturday, he was like, well, it's a double header, but we can't get you any place to stay. So you want me to drive 3.5 hours, spend hundreds of dollars on a hotel room, and you offer me $60.
It's hard. Yeah, so again, I think we're at that point where for the first couple of years, I feel like I was just saying yes to everything.
Of course.
But like, I think at this point, I'm phasing into this like
being strategic. It's chess now. Because my account is not set up to play checkers anymore.
No.
Barely
no.
Uno.
Right. It's like, it's hard. It's hard to like, because you get worried if I say no, are they gonna not ask again?
Right, that kind of thing.
And so I've had to start getting comfortable with going like, well, if they don't ask, they don't ask.
Yeah,
but
that part. Yeah, and then I think at this point in the game, honestly, like I don't know how old you are, but I'm at this stage in my life. If it's for me, it's for me. Right? It's nothing you can do. It's nothing anybody else can say. If it's for Leah, it's going to be for Leah. You understand what I mean? And I don't think the Lord we serve, if he really knows our heart, he is not going to let somebody, because you told him no that I couldn't make it down in Myrtle Beach, that's going to destroy everything. Right? Yeah, like, and if that's the case, then
fuck 'em.
So be it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I agree. So, what would you say is your like main goal with your comedy for this year? What are you kind of working towards?
So my goal was, and it's not over yet, it's not ever, I want to be in heavy rotation, I thought, in 3 different clubs, because I do a lot of work at the Comedy Cabana down in Myrtle Beach.
Got it.
I haven't this year so far, but when I go back and look at my record with them, they usually get me at the end of the year. So I still got a little bit of time with them. But my goal was to at least do something in surrounding states.
Yeah.
Because South Carolina, they're okay, but they don't really have a big comedy scene.
No.
It's very I don't want to say minuscule, it ain't that small, but you get my point. But I wanted to do Virginia at least, and definitely do more in Georgia.
Yeah.
But I got to be honest, Nicole, it's my fault. I haven't pushed myself. I haven't reached out to people, and I got to say, I have reached, so what I have started doing is, instead of wasting time on social media looking at cat fights, I have started looking for venues that are hosting shows, and I'm reaching out to these people, and one gentleman, he hit me back in some part of Georgia, I can't remember, but he was like, hey, we have a booker, send a video. He said, give us 30 days. He said, usually takes 30 days and we'll get back with you,
Nice.
So I'm going to follow back up with him, because now I see, once somebody hits me and I understand, and I know you're working your page, that's all I need, because some people don't work their page.
I know.
They don't work their page,
Yeah.
so... Yeah, and I know I was trying to get on with the Stress Factory in Jersey. Was Connecticut. In Connecticut, because they have a booker, but from what I was told, they want you to have at least 6,000 to 10,000 followers, and but even if I have followers, that don't mean they're gonna come. They're not gonna come to Connecticut to see me.
They're gonna watch me on the internet.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So I get it. It's one of those kind of things.
Yeah.
But
okay, that's a good goal though.
Yeah.
If somebody came up to you and was like, "Oh, I'm really interested in trying stand-up comedy, but I'm nervous," what advice would you give them?
Get over it. You gotta jump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I know how nervous I was.
Yeah.
My very first time back in 2018, girl, I had to go put my jacket on. I had so much sweat.
Yeah.
But you know what? You just gotta jump. Like Will Smith say, jump anyway. You don't have to worry if the parachute gonna open or not. Just go ahead and jump, because how many things have we done we're scared of? The first time we drove, we were scared.
Right.
The first date we ever went out on, we might have been a little nervous, right? So I just tell them, and bring somebody with you.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate. The first time I did the open mic, I had like 10 people with me. You know what I mean? So I felt kind of comfortable.
Yeah.
And they say put them in front of you, right? So you're talking to them because you know them, and it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a party otherwise. But
Yeah.
I just tell them this: I'm not scared of nothing. Jump. Just go ahead and jump. Yeah, call me. I'll go with you.
Love it.
But you gotta jump. Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Of course, I appreciate it.
So much fun with you.
Yeah.
Please make sure to follow Leah, and please make sure to like and subscribe so you can see our next video.